What's going on, guys? Well, just back again with another video for you guys. Now, I hope you're all having a lovely day slash evening. I have not uploaded for about 2 or 3 days now, but if you saw my last collab, Football Therapy Unit HH, I'm sure you guys enjoyed it, especially the ending when I was screaming, man, my connection let me down towards the end, but it was a very, very good one. If you've not checked it out, check out my last upload on the channel. But yeah, in this video here, we're giving you all the updates around Chelsea in the last, not 24 hours, but 72 hours FC, plus answering some of your questions. I might not get through all of them, so I'll be spreading them out in the next couple of videos. So if you enjoy my content, help me out by smashing the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to stay up to more on Chelsea. Like I said, all my videos, please comment your thoughts and opinions on each topic I speak. Now, of course, the first one I'm going to speak about is about N'Golo Kante. Many people saying, should we entertain the deal, whether we should sell him or not because of injury? But we have some words from Frank Lampard. He's come out and said we obviously need N'Golo Kante in our team. He's one of the best players in the world, and I knew that before I became the manager of Chelsea. So the manager's spoken. He needs Kante, acknowledges how good he is, not just about in the team, but in the world, which should close all rumours. Now, of course, the only reason why I said we should entertain is if he continues to get injured. Now, of course, we've got so many breaks. We're not playing football. There's no Euros, and he should be getting fully fit again. So there shouldn't be any issues with the player. And I really feel he's our best player in this squad right now. Obviously, when Hazard left, it was him and Hazard, but now it's just Kante. We have very good players like Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic. You know, the list goes on. We have very, very good players and some decent players, but the ones that stand out, N'Golo Kante is the only one, which is why we shouldn't sell him. And I get age is an issue where if he was to get injured, we can get as much money now as possible. But, you know, he's coming towards his, peak years. He's about 29 years old. He's got at least another 2-3 years in him. And I really feel he should retire at Chelsea. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, disagree, and why. And I really feel, I hope, also that Lampard kind of helps his play overall, because many fans think where he plays isn't good enough, and I feel they don't see what he does for the team when it's tracking back, when he's clearing the lines, when he's intercepting, and he presses really high and he helps the team, regardless of how much or how good we play as a team. We might be playing sideways and backwards and stuff, but when I watch the guy play, he saves us many times this season for sure. And look at the performance against Liverpool in the Super Cup, man of the match, and we should have won that game as well. And that's what I feel we are missing in the team, someone that can take the game on their strides, basically. So Kante is a player that we should be looking at to keep for sure. Of course, Billy Gilmour has come out recently, 2 man the matches, young star. He's been playing for a couple of years, but it's still early. We shouldn't really overhype the player. I'm not saying he's not going to reach at that level, but now the media are on it, everyone's on it. If he makes a mistake, if he does something wrong, everyone's going to be calling out on it. And I've seen it with Hudson-Odoi before the injury. I've seen it with Pulisic. I've seen it with Reece James. I've seen it with many players. And Billy Gilmour, for me, stands out of all of them. But we have to be very patient. We have to be realistic. It is only a couple games, but he does look ready. And I really hope, he makes it as well. So that is the first topic I'm going to speak about. The next topic I'm going to speak about is about Koulibaly from Napoli. Now, of course, as we know, we've been linked with this player many, many years. Is it time to get him? 28, 29 years old. For me, in that defending world, is there anyone that we can sign on that level? Probably not, which is why we're looking at this player. This guy has experience. He's a proper leader that we need in this team. Someone like John Terry that we've been missing in this team. But as we know, we have problems with the president of Napoli. We don't really get on with him. We just about got Sarri and Jorginho, 24 hours, 48 hours FC, 72 hours FC. And it took ages to get those two. But there was first reports from Italy saying that Napoli might be forced to sell him cheaper than usual. But then we have more news from Football Italia saying Napoli 100 million euros for the player. Now, of course, that for me is already a no. If we manage to get the player for about 50-60 million pounds, and I think Chelsea will be all over that player for sure, because when we're linked with Nathan Ake about 40 million, Ben White 25, etc., it makes no reason why we shouldn't be signing Koulibaly for that extra money. That how we see Dembele for about 35-40 million is how I see Werner for 60 million. Spend that extra money that can take us to that next level. That's how I see these players right now. So Koulibaly, for me, if the value comes down because of, today's world economic situation, then yeah, 50, 60 million should be definitely hit by Chelsea. And I've seen many people saying about age, and, I've seen John Terry go to about 33, 34. He won a Premier League with Chelsea. He done really well. He was in Team of the Year many times as well with Cahill, etc. So, it's not really an excuse. The only reason why I said Kante maybe is because of the injury, as I said. But other than that, their best years are these years, which is why we should be signing those players. And this is why we shouldn't be just looking at youth, and we shouldn't be looking at young players. We need someone that's established as well that can help us, along with the youth and the young players, to come to the next level. And that's how we're going to be getting into the other stories coming up as well. Coutinho, Premier League is the main market for Coutinho, and Chelsea are still favourite to sign him according to Sport. Sport are pushing the agenda so hard for Chelsea to sign Coutinho. Reports in England are saying Chelsea have been offered Coutinho but are currently not interested unless it's on loan with no permanent fee. So, we're getting different reports. Spain are saying this, and then we've got England saying this. So, what do we believe? Of course, we're going to believe more towards England because, Chelsea's our team. We know Matt Law, Telegraph, Standard are very closer, and Goal are closer to Chelsea than Sport are. So, I think the agent have been speaking to outlets. Coutinho's agent has been speaking, trying to get that move. Arsenal, Tottenham, maybe even United, Leicester, Chelsea interested in the player. But I don't think anyone wants to spend that money, at least 60 to 70 million pounds or even more for the player. And yeah, I want him, of course. If you get him for about 50 million, I'll take it as well. Especially if you don't sign those top tier players that we're looking for, like the Sancho, like the Martinez, like the Werner, then it makes sense to sign Coutinho. But even on a loan, I'm all up for it as well. So let's see what happens. The next story as well, Declan Rice, a very, very interesting one. I know many Chelsea fans are against the player. I'm kind of against it as well because we've got Ampadu, we've got Gallagher, we've got many players that can come into this team and take that spot as well. But what I want to make clear is Declan Rice isn't a bad player. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's just overpriced, and that's because it's English, and we know with the quality of English players, they are overpriced when they shouldn't be. If he's about 30, 35 million, I would actually consider the player. But other than that, David Moyes has spoken recently saying I was laughing because I keep getting told that Chelsea want Declan Rice, and then I thought I might as well want Billy Gilmour. The guy knows about Billy Gilmour himself, so why are Chelsea looking at Declan Rice? That is the question. We let this player go. Why do you want this player back? Why do you want to spend that much money as well? It doesn't really make sense. So for me, of course, I don't have anything against Declan Rice. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he can become not one of the best, but he can become one of, the consistent players that we want to see in the Premier League that do really well in that position. Now, maybe I'm not at West Ham, but at a bigger club. Man City were interested, Chelsea interested. I'm sure one team will be signing them up very soon as well. But also, I just think, I think Chelsea fans know they don't want him. We've got Ampadu, we've got other players that can fit that position, which is why we are, criticising the player. But I don't think he's really that bad, and I think his game overall is good. But I just feel like Chelsea do not need to spend that money there because they can use it elsewhere. Now, De Bruyne, of course, has said on his Man City future about 2 years. If they are banned for the Champions League, he might need to consider it. 1 year he can take, but not 2 years. He might need to consider it. Would Chelsea fans take him back? Of course we would. I would. You would. Is it really a discussion that we need? I'll be very surprised if anyone said no. If you are saying no, let me know why. Haaland for Dortmund, he was asked by a reporter recently who was his which one player would he play with that's retired right now. It was Frank Lampard, and I think those young players really look towards the Lampard, the Ashley Coles, the Drogbas, and I feel like all these players love Chelsea. Leon Bailey, Samuel, this player loves Lampard. Everyone loves Chelsea, and all the Chelsea fans are like, sign him up, sign him up, sign him up. Of course, Haaland is still young. He might change his future in the next couple of years. We shall see. But I'm sure Madrid, Barcelona will be all over this player very soon. Because him, that shot power? That shot power reminds you of Pro Evolution Soccer 6. Remember when Adriano was on there for Inter Milan? He had that left foot 99 shot power. Those days, I don't know if it was number 6 or if it was number 5. But I just remember whether it's Owen at the front or whether it's Omri at the front or, whichever game it was. I just remember that left foot was just deadly. Master League, them days there. So those are the main topics there. I'll be reading some of your questions right now. Max Hensel on Instagram asked me, would you sign Lewis Dunk for 20 to 25 million? And I feel that is a very good fee. Of course, Jan, Football Therapy on my stream a couple of days ago, spoke about the player, saying we should be all over him if he comes on sale for the good price. We'll basically trying to value him around 50 million before this COVID situation. And, 20, 25 million is a very good deal. Jan also said that he is a better player than Maguire. And, because it's Brighton, every club should be basically all over him. And I'm sure if that value was the case, many clubs would be all over him. And yeah, I'll take him over Ake. I'll take him over Ben White. But I don't really feel like he's the player that we need to take us to that front line, like the Koulibaly that we're looking for. But that three there, definitely for sure I'll take. Another question is MattBall98 on Instagram. What should happen to Gallagher, Ampadu, and Mertens and Tino for next season? Of course, Ampadu should come back. If we're not signing Declan Rice, we should bring back that player for sure. Gallagher, I'm not sure because Lee Bowyer, Chelsea are in touch with the player as well about his progress because he's too good. Where he was playing, he was too good for that league, and he should be playing in the Premier League or getting experience in the league as well. So it's either Gallagher or Ampadu that comes back into this team, and I feel like Ampadu didn't really have a fair run at the team that he went to, Red Bulls, and I feel like he's good enough for the Premier League. And Gallagher could be also as well. So it's a tough one for Frank Lampard to decide on what happens. But I think it should be judged on pre-season as well. I think it should be judged on what teams are interested in the league that will take these players as well. Mertens, of course, if we don't sign a left back, if Emerson or Alonso are sold, then he should come into the team. He can definitely play cup games. And of course, we sign Telles or we sell both Alonso and Emerson, it makes more sense to bring him up as well. And of course, he can play cup games as well. Tino is very early. That is something that we'll have to assess. And it's very early to judge what should happen. But right now, I think a loan move is also right for the player as well. Hitesh Jivan asked me as well, could Michi be sold to Newcastle if they came knocking? Mate, if any club came knocking for Michi, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, West Ham, whoever it is, whether we're swapping for Hala, any money that comes in around 32 million FC, we are taking that money without a doubt. I think Mourinho even wants 40 million for the player, which is very surprising because he's out of contract next year. So I think if any club came knocking right now, we would sell the player. Definitely. Let's talk Chelsea. Maybe talk about the predicted starting 11 next season. I think it's very early to judge that as well, but that is something that I'll be looking at very soon. Rishan A asks, what's your prediction for the Premier League project restart? I think in general, we shouldn't even start the Premier League. I think health comes first. And, if they're playing behind closed doors, it's not really the same without the fans. So, but if it did restart, I still feel it will end how it is right now. Chelsea will still get those points because I feel anything can happen. And in these situations, Chelsea always stand up, in my opinion. So it's very hard to also judge, but that's how I see it as well. Underrated Chelsea player in this season, asked by Haroon Abdul. I feel it's a tough one. I think Pulisic. Yeah, I think Pulisic for me done really well before his injury. I think he showed a few signs of Eden Hazard on the ball. He did go on a scoring run as well. He got a hat-trick as well. And I really felt before the injury he was going to push even more. And this is why Hudson-Odoi was on the bench as well. So I feel like he had a very good season. I don't think many people appreciated him enough. And, I think he's going to be hitting even better. I'll be answering more questions. Sayug Kafur, George Downs asking about my tier list, top 5 moments of the season as well. How many first team players are we expected to sign? Ask Rizal. These are things that I'll be answering very soon. So yeah, big up everyone. J1 Drippy as well about Lampard. Is he ready for the job? And in general, Frank Lampard deserves 2 transfer windows. Of course, we had January. We didn't want to spend that. I think now the summer, unfortunately, the COVID season, which is why we were expected to sign 4 to 6 players at least, but right now it could be reduced. We could be signing Mertens on the free. That is players that we're looking at, so it could be affected, which is why we should extend Lampard's expectations for at least another window and judge him properly when he signs the players that he wants to build that squad in this team. So guys, if you enjoy my content, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more content. I'll try to upload as much as I can. And thank you for 10k subscribers again. Well, watch yours, guys. I'm out.